everybody. I'm Greg Hinze. I think I'll start by quoting Ronald Reagan, who once said, "Before I begin speaking, I'd like to say something." I am so honored and so grateful to be part of this. While I was putting this talk together, I was just worried about what I was going to incorporate into a short 15-minute talk. Now that I'm here, I find myself getting kind of emotional, so bear with me. To try to encapsulate the civil rights movement in 15 minutes is a near impossibility. I couldn't do it in 15 hours. I couldn't do it in 15 days. You know, I might be able to do it in 15 weeks, which is the length of one of our semesters. So I'm thinking possibly a course in the future on the American Civil Rights Movement. What I want to do today is to put the civil rights movement into the context of redemption. The extension of civil rights to blacks was a bitter struggle of a people determined to seize their birthright, and was eventually helped by the intervention of federal courts. But this was not simply a fight for their rights. It was a religious movement. Black activists, such as Martin Luther King, turned to the black church to create a political and a moral awakening among all Americans. The dictionary defines redeem: to recover ownership by paying a sum, to deliver from a state of sinfulness. What was most powerful about the civil rights movement was not simply that it gained rights for blacks, but that it did indeed free America, and especially the South, from that state of sinfulness. And in doing so, whites gained as much as blacks. So I want to talk a little bit about Martin Luther King's vision. King rose to prominence during the 1955-1956 Montgomery bus boycott. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks defied an order that she give up a seat on a Montgomery bus. Her arrest sparked a legal challenge, waves of protest, and a boycott. Now, King had been studying protest methods for some time in theological seminaries. He had seen how the cooperation of Booker T. Washington, the communism of W.E.B. Du Bois, and the separatism of Marcus Garvey had all failed blacks. King also knew that black violence would be met by the overwhelming power of the white South. King believed that the nonviolent tactics of Gandhi might prove effective. To work, King believed that he needed a vision that integrated the most basic values of the black community: non-cooperation with evil and Christian love. King recognized that by confronting white hatred and violence with Christian love, he could transform that hatred. The hard part was that blacks would have to accept the violence of whites and sacrifice themselves to free all of society from racism. In politics, the number of black voters and elected officials increased at all levels. culminating, of course, in 2008 with the election of Barack Obama. It altered politics in the South. Income and education. Very little change in economic structure. Income compared to whites did not increase significantly. But the movement was most successful in helping middle and upper class blacks gain access to professional opportunity. Income and education. Very little change in economic structure. Income compared to whites did not increase significantly. But the movement was most successful in helping middle and upper class blacks gain access to professional opportunity. Ethnic pride. James Brown said it best. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And finally, the liberation of the South. In many ways, the end of segregation brought the South into the 20th century. Although in many ways, still economically backward. It has, for years, led the nation in growth. But it was only after state-sponsored racism ended that the South could truly liberate itself from the effects of the Civil War. In this respect, Martin Luther King was exactly right when he argued that love of nonviolent action would redeem the nation. Not only were blacks brought into the citizenry of the country, but the country itself was liberated in the process. Thank you.